Hello, everyone. Super special episode of S.M.U.T today. That's Stars, Magic, and Underworld Talk. And it's me, your hostess, Emily Iris, and I'm here with Kellyanne, our series guest.
I'm here in the flesh.
Yeah,
in the
we're
flesh.
here
touch.
in the same room. It's
Ooh.
incredible. Amazing.
Ooh.
I'm not over it. So the vibes will be extra silly and cheeky today, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
We're going to have fun. I'm already having fun, and we're sipping on watermelon juice, so I'm getting all sugar high and stuff. And if you have a lovely beverage you'd like to grab.
Grab it now.
Mm.
Drink up.
What did we just say? Red in, red out. I'm bleeding right now. My partner said, yeah, you got to replenish your red.
Gotta replenish your red.
Gross. Thank you.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy. But I love it because I feel the same way. Like when I had my abortion, I literally was like, I need the darkest cherries that I can get. There was something about having something that had like almost its own bloodiness to it that I was just like, this is right.
Right.
I'm replenishing my red.
You need the richness.
I'm replenishing my red, yeah. The antioxidants, but also just, red. Because of reasons.
You heard it here first, folks. Like, petition to make that a thing that just all bleeding women say. Oh, I'm replenishing my red, as they, like, take a bite out of a pomegranate and let the juices run down their face.
I thought you were going to say a beet, and I was, like, going full, what's his name?
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight Schrute. I was going full Dwight Schrute, and I was like, beets, bears, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. That's absolutely what happens when women bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing, like, the pink teeth that he has.
The highlighter pink teeth, yeah. Very good. We like that a lot.
All right. Well, the facts of the business today is that we're going to start by talking about the moon that's coming up, a la our Moonifesting corner. And then we're going to talk about our subject for today. I'm going to let you introduce it.
Why astrology is not a junk science and all the ways that you have been kept from seeing the stars as part of your life.
For real. And we'll share some of our hot takes and some of our wonderings and some of the things that we literally just learned today about this for us.
Yeah, for research and purposes.
Right. And we're like low-key researchers, so enjoy. You're going to learn something and we're going to have fun.
You're going to learn something and it's going to expand your mind, if nothing else. That's my intention, is for this to be just mind expanding.
Love that.
Yeah.
So definitely come ready to expand your mind. Take your helmets off.
Take your helmets off and put one of those, like those car jacks where you open up the, you boost up the car.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
Between your ears, just put that right in the middle, and just really, open it up. Open her up.
We're gonna jack you up.
Open her up. Drink up. Replenish your red. Open her up. Drink up.
Yeah. Anyways, good luck to your inside parts. Here's what's coming up next week in astrology, or this coming week in astrology as we release this. So we've just gone through a black moon. That's a second new moon in the same sign in Virgo. What? Did we know that? Now we know.
Gotta love her.
Right. And we have coming up our first quarter moon in Sagittarius. And this is going to be the 8 of Wands area of the zodiac. And the energy is like a lot of action with no direction. The warning here is like you might be tempted to just say yes to everyone, but we know what that does in the end. Messy, very full schedule. Nothing really gets done. And then you're not really doing your own projects too. So that's kind of the energy we're looking to avoid and take a little left turn from if we find it coming up in our lives. But let's look at the cards and see what exactly the vibe is that you're picking up. So if you're watching this on video, Kellyanne's going to hold us in the tarot study.
I'm going to show us our two different versions of the tarot that I always come with. The first is Mood, and she's so basic. Eight of Wands is just so basic.
I know.
They really just put a bunch of sticks on there, all facing the same direction. This one says yeet.
Yeah.
As in they're moving. Like at least the person who editorialized these images gave us some momentum, gave us some movement and action, because otherwise it's just like branches hanging, but they're all strangely straightened and perfectly parallel to each other, not touching, which is a really interesting sort of juxtaposition to me of this other version of the Eight of Wands, which is the Harmony card. There are a ton of, and I'm showing the card now, there are a ton of musical instruments on there. There's a road, there's a path, there's rainbows in all directions, there's a huge valley, a huge canyons that literally it's like reminding me of, you know, when you take the path, you know, what is it, least
resistance.
Well, not the path of least resistance, but the path least traveled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you would really like to just keep chugging. You gotta keep like taking one step at a time, because you don't have as many road signs, you don't have as many like things pointing out where to go.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, it can either get really boring really quickly, where you're just like, nobody is here, I'm not seeing anybody else, I'm not seeing anything else. Or it can get really fascinating real quickly, and then you get this sort of like harmony moment where you're like, oh, I'm creating something new because of this desire path that I'm pushing through this new situation or this new environment that I'm in. And you get to like play around a little bit with your path that you're making yourself, in lieu of taking the path that everybody else takes. So I'm sort of getting like that, you know, if you're ready to create something new for yourself, and you're ready to kind of like cut out and create some momentum in the direction of your dreams, as per the yeet, then, you know, I see a little bit of the message that Emily was getting too, of like, you know, you might not want to say yes to everybody who tries to help you on that path. You might want to just kind of keep things to yourself and notice when you are, I think the key here for knowing where your yes and where your no is, in terms of like pairing with other people or teaming up with other people as you maybe pivot, or, you know, really set your mind to whatever situation you're trying to get into. It's really helpful to get your sacred yes and your sacred no from your gut, and from that space where you're feeling, if you're feeling anxious, that's probably your body telling you no. And you should just listen, and you should just say, I don't need to be harmonious with everybody. I don't need to be friends with everybody. I don't need to, you know, invite everybody on this path just because they've been with me for a while, or because we're friends now, or because this seems like coincidental timing. Fuck that. You have your own gut instincts. You have your own inner knowing. Keep following that, and don't, you know, feel that compulsion to create music with somebody else, because they might want to be, you know, singing the blues, and you might want to be creating like new alt metal. And like, it would be really nice if you both got to just do your own things and not, you know, compromise your own creativity, which that's what the 8 is about, is the energy of creativity. And it would be nice to get to do your own thing, right?
Right. Yeah. Huge. I love the idea. Like, I'm thinking if I wanted to make an alt new metal song, I would not invite every instrument to come be part of my orchestra. I'm going to select the ones that go with the style of music that I want to play. Like, we don't necessarily need
The banjo.
a saxophone. Yeah.
Right.
No, like maybe as a fun feature for one track on the album, but this isn't like, it's okay to not include every other person's dream in what you want to do. This is a message to my younger self. Also, as I'm saying it, like, especially if you work for someone, if you're working in a corporate environment or something, but you know, like, that's not really what you're going to do forever. Like, don't get caught up in that. Remember that your work in this lifetime is not to do someone else's dream. It's to do your dreams.
Yeah, or to like care so much about that person's dream because you respect that. I'm like thinking about myself at work where I'm like, I respect my managers and I don't want to do the job that they do. And I don't want to be a part of the corporate entity forever. And yet, how do I balance, you know, going above and beyond because I can see that it would pay respect to people that respect me?
Right.
Versus saying, I don't have enough energy points in the day. I don't have enough momentum to yeet myself through somebody else's problems. I need to like stick to my own problems. You know, like I need to just focus on me and my shit and my success. I need to focus more on my own successes than other people's problems.
Yes. Big time. That's the shit. There's another like hidden layer here too that I have to address.
I have another one too. And it's with this card too, so I want to see if it's the same.
Okay, so what do we not see in this card? What do we not see that's in every single other card? A fucking human.
Yeah.
There's no figure. And what I'm getting from this that is aligned with the Deacon of Sagittarius that the moon is going to be in, like the Deacon and the tarot card are connected, is that we're trying to hide something. We're trying to like deceive a little bit. And there is something there that may need to come out. And we just like may need to come out and say it. Like, hey, I used to be alcohol sober, but I'm not anymore. Something that's like coming across in the way that you're presenting yourself that is actually not sincere. That just needs to be revealed. Like, put yourself, step into the picture, get on the card.
Yeah, put yourself in the frame. It's kind of, it's like a way to put your creations before yourself and like let your work speak for you. So you're like kind of putting a lot of things out into the world, but you never take credit for them. You never like step in and go, yeah, and I put a lot of work into that.
Yeah. All of those art reveals you see on social media where someone's like, here's me and my art, and they're just hiding behind a big frame. Like, you know, it's time to show you.
I'm like imagining a bunch of people off screen, like out of frame, who are all holding that exact. The thing that I was gonna say that connects for me is, you know, in wanting to be harmonious with other people as we're like trying to pursue certain projects or, you know, make them dreams come true. We might feel tempted to connect with other people and collaborate with them or team up with them. And sometimes you just need like a parallel partner. Sometimes you just need that parallel play of like witnessing somebody else do their own thing while you do your own thing. So this is also like an acknowledgement of if you see somebody heading in the same direction as you and you're like, oh, we could help each other. It's like, you don't need to get involved in each other's projects and in each other's lives. And you don't need to get distracted by fixing other people's things for them or helping them come up with ideas for their thing. You don't need to do that. You don't need to step in and advise anybody else. You can work parallel to them and watch them watching as a mentor, watching other people figure out that they're strong enough to figure out their own problems in their own life. Incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
Incredibly inspirational. And I don't have to be other people's inspiration all the time. I feel like Sagittarius is one of those like very like inspirational, aspirational sort of signs where it's like they'll just get lit up by something and want to like take over. It's like you don't you don't need to do that. You can let somebody else whose initial excitement got you excited, you can let their excitement burn and watch it and like, you know, cultivate next to them, you know, but you don't gotta tell them how to, you know, set up the twigs in their fire so that it's a long lasting fire. You can let them figure it out.
Right. And lessons are really learned better that way. Anyways, when you're able to just figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Easy.
We all deserve to develop confidence in ourselves.
Yeah. And I've noticed too, as a mentor, that there are other people working through similar things that I have. They're doing it in ways that I just would have never expected or instructed them to do. So like, it's a good thing I wasn't instructing them because they're like finding their own path and we have to.
Yeah.
That feels Sagittarian too. Like you got to wander a little, friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to take a side quest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When is this moon happening?
August 30th.
August 30th. First quarter Sag.
Yes. Yep. That's the rub. Does that feel complete?
Yeah, I think that's that on that.
Cool. That's that on that. All right. Next phase. Okay.
Let's fucking get into it.
And talk about the real shit here. So, why is astrology not a junk science? And as we were talking about this, I was remembering one of my last nights working in the club, sitting with this guy who's like, oh, astronomy. I love astronomy. And like goes on to talk for 15 minutes about sitting in fields and looking at the stars. And I was like, yeah, I said astrology. And he's like, oh, I don't believe in that. I believe in God. And I was like, oh, all right, excuse me.
After 15 whole minutes.
I mean, and slight exaggeration, but you know how it is when these boys get going.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make money off of them. So,
and they're just so excited about their precious little thing. They're just so excited about their dinosaurs and their telescopes and their cars and their trucks.
Dinosaurs actually aren't Christian either, but
I know as soon as it came out, I was like, I know that that's wrong.
It's so funny.
For this context. Yeah, for sure.
Right. But we're going to get into that too, because we're learning that a lot of why astrology is seen as a junk science has to do with colonization, the spread of Western religion.
Oh no, it's the root of all of our problems.
Yeah.
Yet again.
And like why we have literally been conditioned as modern humans to believe that that's all like hootenanny.
Yeah.
Basura, garbage. It's all shenanigans.
And not even just to believe that it's dumb, but to have it like stripped from us in so many layers that it's like really, you know, the concept of like staying woke and like staying awakened to the things that were hidden from us is contextually so important for us to like embody, because we really have, it's a staying power. It's like I have to do this all the time, every day, in everything that I see, and all the commercials that are on, and all the television I watch, and the movies, and everything that I am exposed to, every form of media that I'm exposed to, I have to stay looking out for. I have to keep forcing my eyes open so that I can see all the ways that the shit's been hidden on purpose. So we're going to get into some of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say it's vigilance. Like
Vigilance.
Not hypervigilance. But like a new lens that we get to wear and just see everything through. Like, oh, like y'all, I'm in South Florida right now. We're driving down Southern Boulevard, which is now being renamed Donald J. Trump Boulevard, I guess. And that's my old neighborhood. And it's a Hispanic neighborhood, by the way. So I'm like going past like La Familia laundromat and the Tres Leches place that I always would go and get pastries from. And I'm like, this is colonization happening before our eyes. Like, people are being deported from this area and stolen from this area by ICE agents. And then he's like slapping his name on the street. It's so clear to me. I'm having a hard time understanding how it's not clear to others.
I need a drink.
She means vodka. No. It's watermelon juice.
It's just watermelon juice. But I literally, as soon as you said, before you even said the name, as soon as you said it's being renamed, I dissociated.
Yeah.
My soul left my body because I was like, I know what she's about to say.
I know. It's being renamed
Egocentric
dickwad.
Egocentric tyrant hole. Yeah.
Thank you.
Look how perfect that is. Well, look at that.
Just taking a little watermelon juice pouring break. Yeah. So this, like, we do need to be vigilant, and we need to be obnoxious about opposing these things and pointing them out to people that don't see it too.
It's a clawing and a scraping, which is why nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to fucking do it because it's literally.
You don't like to scrape and claw? Wow.
It's a public clawing and scraping. Maybe behind closed doors, people like to claw and scrape, but it's a very public clawing and scraping.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, we're going to fight the power with astrology, which is what we've already been doing. But, like, if you were unclear, that is what this is about. Man, it's so huge. So, like...
I live here and I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's already on Google Maps. And it's not, like, actually legally been put through.
No. I don't believe you.
Yeah, it said it. I was like, and then take a left on Donald J. Trump Boulevard.
I don't believe you.
Fact check me.
I don't believe you.
I'm going to share a story while she's looking that we're going to see evidence of this across cultures, how indigenous folks had already figured out the lunar and solar year, had already created calendars that marked solstices and seasons and understood the seasons. And it's just like been taken away, well, covered up, really, torn down. And we've had it all replaced by a boring ass Gregorian calendar that don't make no sense. We're going to talk about how that happened.
It don't make no sense.
Yeah. Are you seeing it?
No, I'm still seeing Southern Boulevard on Google Maps. But I'm trying to go. Oh, there it is. Oh, I zoomed in even more. I must have crossed. It must have been across something.
Y'all, it's wild. And the reason, if you're not from this area, if you're like, why would that be called that? It's because it's the bridge that you must take to go to Mar-a-Lago.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
from the
it.
airport to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Directly from PBI to, Well, that
wild.
Sucks.
Times is wild.
I'm not going to throw my phone. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to help.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
Ooh, where were we?
We were how we got here. We were at how we got here to a land of extreme disenchantment and disconnection with the stars.
Yeah. Oh, poor us.
I know. I do feel a lot of compassion for all of us, especially like I've been living in the mountains, and what you said about being disconnected from the stars because of light pollution, just like that hit me too. Of course we feel disconnected.
Yeah, it's incredible that we have gajillions, truly gabillion, million, trillion, zillion, trillions, spillions of stars that are visible to us by the naked eye.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have any of the electricity powered lighting that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I took a walk down my street with my dog one night, and I was like, how many lights would it take to just create a patch of darkness that would allow us to see the sky? And as I walked, it maybe like the length of the street was maybe 12 houses. Okay. In that span of time that I walked, it maybe was 6 houses down that I had already surpassed 100 lights.
Whoa.
100 bulbs that I could count
mm-hmm.
just from my own visual range. And I was like, yeah, right. A clawing and a scraping.
Exactly. Yeah. Dang.
It's incredible the amount of dissonance that we have where we like want to get back in touch with nature. Like we want to conserve nature. We want to conserve all of the beautiful greenery that we have, but we have not conserved our skies. We haven't conserved our water bodies. We haven't conserved a lot of things. And it's like, there's so much preventing us from having that connection with the stars and the shadows. Imagine if we had shadows again. Imagine if we had like only the moonlight to
mm-hmm.
see by, because when the moon is full, you don't need lights on.
Truly.
You walk around and you can see, and your eyes adjust to the darkness. We're animals. We're creatures. Oh, I know. Pearls grasped.
Gasp.
But we would be able to adapt to nighttime, not like all animals, okay? And not like, nocturnal creatures, all right? Not saying
mm-hmm.
anything crazy or, outlandish. Just saying that, like, as creatures, we can walk through the night and we can see when, God's big flashlight is on, which is the moon. And we can see it, but it's like one of those things where, like, when the big, like, yellow moons, the giant yellow moons are sitting on the horizon and the moon is just starting to rise. It's like there are so many buildings in the way that literally, unless you're at a certain, I'm in Florida. Right. So, unless you're at a certain elevation, you're not going to be able to see it happening. And it's really disconcerting how disconnected we are from all of the, as Rihanna said, all of the lights.
Yes. As Rihanna said. I know. I got to experience the opposite, being in the Sahara and just being in a place where like there's no light pollution because there's not really electricity.
Yeah.
And I could see the Milky Way with my naked eye. That's nuts. I don't even think I saw that in Alaska because I was in Anchorage near the city.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild how few places there are left to actually see all of the stars and how few people there are that still know how to use the stars to navigate like many of our ancestors did. And like getting to be out in the desert, meeting people that actually know how to navigate by the stars and seeing all of these jewelry, these vintage pieces of Moroccan jewelry that are like crosses. I'm like, what is this? It kind of looks like a crusader symbol or something. Like I thought there weren't Christians here. Like what is all this? It's to navigate with. You hold it up and you look at the cross beams and you like line it up with the North Star and it takes you to where you need to go.
What the helly?
What the hell? I'm not even sure I know how to use a compass for real. Like, I didn't do Girl Scouts.
I did Girl Scouts, and I'm still a little lost sometimes on how to use a compass. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, my Portuguese ancestors are like, oh my God, what's happened to her?
Yeah, and I wanted to say, you know, like there are people out there who can still navigate by the stars. And the crazy thing about it is it seems like an ancient wisdom. It seems like something that somebody knows from centuries and centuries ago, and it's been lost to the sands of time. And there's only a few. There are there are millions of people who live without electricity.
Yeah.
And the wisdom isn't ancient. It's being used. It's being used right now.
Yeah.
This is modern wisdom. Modern wisdom tells us when we see the stars, we can navigate by them. We can tell stories by them. We can find our way home. We can
tell the season.
Know what season it is. Yeah, know what season we're in. Know what's coming. I mean, the amount of information that lies in the skies is abundant and untouchable now because of the modernization that, you know, we are compelled to live in. I can't just like turn all the lights out in my space where I have autonomy and say, I hope I see the stars tonight.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
No. Unless you go around with like a gun and shoot down all the street lights and
I would get caught before the 50th light.
Right. Bust the city breaker. Don't do this. Nobody do this. She's like, blink twice.
Nobody do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely don't coordinate.
Definitely don't do this on the same day at the same time, like in Hey Arnold, where he contacted the radio. You don't remember this episode? No. Where he contacted the radio and was like, please, everyone in New York City, turn off all your lights at exactly this time because there's a comet coming that you can only see every 80 years or something like that.
That's so cute.
And one by one, all the lights in New York started going out and flickering off, and the sky went completely dark, and everybody was able to see the comet. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Let's do that. Let's just live out our Nickelodeon cartoon dreams.
Love it. August 30th at 8 p.m.
August 30th.
No, that's too early. 11 p.m.
Eastern time?
Yes.
11 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, yeah, and then Pacific Coast people can kind of sync up with us a little bit. Yeah. It's the whole country. It's not one area. It's the whole country that would need to be able to do it.
Dang. I don't know about the comet. I'm also imagining people navigating by the stars now, also seeing all the satellites.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that star is moving so weirdly. Yeah. It's just moving way too fast.
There's just like so much noise and distraction and interference seemingly between us and the heavenly bodies.
Well, in between there being satellites in the sky now that we mistake for stars, and Venus being visible almost all the time, and people thinking that it's a star, and people thinking that it's just a really big bright star because it's one of the only celestial bodies that we can see now that we've got so much light pollution.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Wild.
Very sad for all of us.
Wild times.
Yeah.
So why is astrology not a junk science?
I will tell you why. And this information came to me from such a surprising source. I was at an Arabic immersion program where we were only speaking Arabic. And when we were off campus, don't tell my teachers this, we would speak English, but on campus, we would definitely be speaking Arabic or we would get kicked out. And there was a group there that we called the Jaish, because that means army in Arabic. And they were Green Berets who were being trained in Arabic so that they could go on their missions. And one of the Green Berets, who was like 20 years older than me, we like hung out and went to lunch. We were all getting to know each other, and it was really fun to just like see all of the different kinds of people who were like, I'm interested in learning Arabic to this intensity, to this,
Yeah.
It was really cool to make friends in that environment. And one of the friends that I made basically was like, oh yeah, astrology makes total sense. And I was like, I was not expecting this from an older guy in the army. It didn't register for me, because there were some other very patriarchal things that he was not in agreement with me about. I mean, in terms of like women getting sexually assaulted and raped as much as we are. He was just like, I'm friends with many women. I would have heard about this. So I was like very skeptical that he would be like really with it. But he was with this.
Yeah.
He basically said, when we have the changing of the moon's phases, and we have a different distance between the moon and the earth, just depending on how we're orbiting and the ecliptical, it's like we end up seeing that the tides go in and out according to the distance and the location of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And the moon is the closest heavenly body to us. It's a part of our orbit, right? But we have a bunch of other heavenly bodies which are massive.
Massively massive.
Incomprehensibly massive.
Yeah.
So in the same way that the sun is incomprehensibly massive and incredibly far away, incomprehensibly far away, we still feel its warmth. We still receive heat to the tune of 102 degrees some days when I get in my car on my way to work in Florida, in the Sunshine State.
Still burns your skin.
Literally, it burns your skin if you are outside long enough. Hello, white people. We absolutely are affected by and, touched by these heavenly bodies. Like I said, when the moon is full at night, we can see everything because it's lighting up our entire world. So those bodies affect us. And the gravitational pull that turns, I mean, if you watch it's like they create a simulation video. If you like watch a simulation video to show the moon's tides in terms of like the earth rotating, but the bodies of water being pulled by the moon, and everywhere the moon goes, the water does this around the round earth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where it's like you can see the bulging happening. And we love the word bulging. We see the bulging, we see the bulging happening, and we can actually predict when the tides are going to be high and low because of where the moon is.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
And then the next logical step is we have a lot of water in our bodies, mostly water in our bodies. So why would we not be affected? Why would our blood literally not be affected by these gravitational pulls? Make
it make sense.
Yeah, you can't argue with that one.
It's like Avatar: The Last Airbender said. Just kidding. That's the reason why in The Last Airbender, the alt bending type for water is blood bending. There's no part of me that puts all of these things together. I mean, you don't have to bring Avatar: The Last Airbender into this, okay? You could leave that on a separate table if you want. If you want. Okay?
But it sure does come in handy to blood bend.
But it's good information. It's a real, it makes you think. There's no part of me that sees the actual factuals of the changing of the tides, the rising and, ebbing of the tides, that confuses me about whether or not the moon could do that to me. Yeah, the moon absolutely does that to me.
100.
And absolutely does it to all of us.
Oh, yeah. I think it's obvious that there's more crime and like weird stuff going on with animals, all animals, including human animals, during full moons. Like people are wilding when the moon is full. There's a lot of gravitational pull that's like moving your blood.
We just got too much blood going on. We just got the bulging. We just got the bulge.
The bulge is happening. It's super bulgy. My God. And then when there's a new moon, less pull, kind of, pull in a different direction that actually gives us a little bit more say in like what we're being moved towards.
Yeah. There's a little less, influence during those times.
Yeah.
Plus, if you think about the blood bodies of people with uteruses who go through menstruation versus people who don't experience menstruation, we also have like an ebbing and flowing of our own bodies, tides, and men don't. And for me, I feel like whenever there's a full moon or whatever, it's not always men who are wildin', but it is very often and very commonly like a moment where I'm like, oh, like you're on your period, but you don't know that you're like, you don't realize that it's the moon doing stuff to you because nobody's told you and because you can barely see what's happening in the sky.
And you haven't even looked up at the moon in years.
And you haven't looked up there. And you don't call her Auntie Luna like I do.
Yeah.
Sad.
No, for real. I feel like fights would break out at the strip club during the new moons. And everyone would be like, why is this happening? Knowing that like I'm into astrology. And I'm like, did I say new moon? I meant full moon. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, Iris, what's going on? I'm like,
the moon is full, you idiots. Look outside. right, exactly.
Everyone feels aggressive. It's cool. Like the blood is rising.
Everybody's feeling wild. Yeah, everybody's feeling their wildness. And you look at when you do look at the moon, it compels you to howl at it. It compels you to have that moment of like of rewilding, because it's been really stripped from us the ability to fend for ourselves in any kind of aggressive situation that doesn't mirror like the regular normal violence that we see on TV, where it's like guns and stuff. Like there is violence and aggression that's happening all the time, and it's a wildness that's trying to come out that kind of can't all the time.
Yeah.
But it is also, just speaking of the tides and the moon being evidence for the heavenly bodies being able to affect us, it also helps us explain the rest of the solar system's effect on us. Like we were saying, those other planets are much bigger by a lot than the moon, than the Earth. Earth is one of the smallest, right?
Yeah.
Other than Pluto and maybe Mercury. I think Mercury's smaller than us.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I know like Jupiter is freaking huge.
Jupiter's freaking huge. I mean, compared to us, Venus is huge. Saturn is huge. Uranus is huge. They're just massive.
Yeah.
They're freaking massive.
Of course they're yanking our chains. And like my hot take, which, you can take it or leave it, it's cool, is also that we do have alien ancestors. Like, I think this for sure. And they came from all of these other star systems where they're like looking at our one little solar system. They're like, oh yeah, I see exactly what's happening here. Like there's 12 zodiacs and I see your constellations. I see the way all the planets are influencing you. And some of that information that was beyond us in way ancient days somehow is recorded and people are using it. And like the pyramids line up with Sirius during Lionsgate every year. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sus that we didn't have any help from aliens.
Yeah.
For me.
When we look at the pyramids, when we look at Stonehenge, as we were talking about before, it's really hard not to factor in there. So I'm of two minds with this because my dad is very sci-fi. So I've watched a lot of like aliens and their influence on the planet or alien encounters. That
crazy haired guy.
Yes.
The late night History Channel stuff.
Very late night History Channel. The very latest at night on the History Channel. And I'm of two minds. One is like, yeah, of course, we had some kind of intellectual help and intellectual guidance. And there were other like signs, symbols, resources that we had available to us then that over the span of the history of time itself may have been hidden or destroyed, or there have been like we were talking about, there have been a lot of things that colonialism has erased, that patriarchy has erased, in order to keep us believing that a certain narrative is the only one that's possible, because it's the only one we physically have evidence for now.
It's just so unimaginative.
Which leads me to my second mind, which is, we might also just not be giving enough credit to the ability of humans in what we deem to be ancient times, and the amount of mathematical calculations that they were capable of, and the amount of like time that they had on their fucking hands. Like, you could mark something and wait a full 365 days to see if it shows up in the same place, and then go, okay, great, test success. Now we are going to move forward with the building of this pyramid because it's in exactly the right place. Like, people had fucking time. We had a lot of time on our hands.
And devotion, too, to these very specific studies. I love that theory, too.
Yeah.
That, like, we're actually not giving ourselves enough credit.
I find that I don't give myself personally enough credit almost ever, and I see a lot of people doing that, and I always can make the connection that, like, if I'm struggling with this, then it is a symptom of colonization.
Sure.
It's a symptom of the patriarchy. And what are the things that I need to not doubt about myself that were erased at a time when, the patriarchy needed us, the we, to forget about these things? What has been erased to time? I mean, I literally just found out that you can tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. The Library of Alexandria was said to have been destroyed as some conqueror came through. Listen, I'm not very good at remembering all the details of history and time, but the Library of Alexandria was left run down, but it was not completely destroyed. There were still hundreds of thousands of tomes in there and resources that, once it was no longer being maintained and taken care of, it started to get mildew and grime and all these things, and it wasn't information that was just lost to time because of a conqueror. People gave up on it.
Damn.
And just let it fall to the wayside. So how much has the colonization of other people and other cultures, and like us kind of masking other people's histories, how much of that has taken away our own capacity now to imagine that we had everything we needed back then. Like, the best that we can do is imagine that it must have been aliens because we're too, fucking dumb. And also, aliens.
I know. Porque no los dos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm of two minds. Like, we could give ourselves more credit, and also, aliens.
There are some weird things here on Earth that are a little unexplained still.
Right. I was going to say, you're wearing one of them. You've got your Moldavite on.
I always have a little alien energy going on, but I'm not an alien. I'm
what is she?
Else.
What is she?
Yeah, right. I mean, I really believe astrology is our framework to get ourselves out of the matrix that we find ourselves in. An extremely colonized capitalistic world, and especially coming from us in America, like in a real box here. And astrology has the keys to get us out of it. But now we have layers of like pop astrology, like the bullshit that you read in a Cosmo magazine that's like, Pisces is a crybaby and Sagittarius travels and Gemini talks a lot. Like, okay. And it gives you only deterministic astrology that is supposed to like make you feel memeified, like same confirmation.
Yes.
But it gives you no tools or direction or perspective to see what that could be in its highest vibrational aspect.
It's a version of distraction.
Totally.
Because, like Myers-Briggs and all of these other sort of like personality type categorization tools, we can absolutely pin ourselves into a corner and say, I'm very comfortable here. But like we already said, to stay woke means that there is clawing and scraping. And when you encounter, those memes that people you love are generating on Instagram because it's fun and it's great to laugh at, it also is a bit of a denigration of astrology's full width and breadth. So the entire expansiveness of what we can learn from astrology and how we can use it to map out and strategize in our own lives. I mean, it's getting lost in all of those things. So yeah, it's been memeified, it's been cash grabbed, it's been capitalized on.
Yeah.
Which makes the truth about astrology even harder to divine.
Yeah, it certainly is. And it's hard to cut through the noise. There's something that resonates with certain astrologers and certain customers and clients. And maybe it's a sameness, maybe it's a mirroring. But when you find an astrologer that is not deterministic and that is encouraging you to explore and understand your own astrology for yourself, for me, this is good.
Yeah. For me, this is good.
For me, this is the only real kind of astrology. Like when you're looking in the newspaper and reading your horoscope, probably you're reading for your sun sign, which is already off base. And like, who knows what that astrologer believes? Who knows what kind of filters they're looking through? Is it extremely patriarchal and colonized and deterministic? Like,
yeah, it's really nice to have something like cafe astrology, which I point everyone toward because the breakdown of your natal chart is so thorough on there. It's nice to point to that and be like, yeah, if you want to learn about your stuff like quick and dirty and get slapped around a little bit, because it's going to tell you about yourself, then yeah, go and read this thing. But I don't know who wrote it. I don't know what kind of ideals they have. I don't know what kind of understanding of women and queer people and Black folks in our culture that we actually have, which adds, again, other layers on top of the astrological layers.
Yeah.
So we've got, these 12 realms of meaning. And if you go and you sit in one your entire life, or you trust other people to feed that information to you rather than finding ways to learn about it yourself so that you can then make your own interpretations and see if they're true or not, and see how they affect you, and get to play with the universe and play with the stars and play with the planets instead of like depending and relying on other people to tell you how to live your life. I mean, yeah, it's nice. I mean, yeah.
It's nice.
It's nice. It's a pretty good.
Right? It's so funny. I'm hearing now how we're defending astrology as not a junk science, but you're also describing a type of unbiased understanding that's like closer to art, or it's a merging of art and science and growth that is actually beyond science itself. So I'm not even mad if astrology is not a science, because even science is not that unbiased. Like, just talk about medical testing and how much is done on women.
Well,
wait, that's all we had to talk about. There's not much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you think about the foundations for science and the foundations for scientific research and understanding, they all originate in our imagination. They all originate in our interpretation of the world. So, origin of the species, you might like look around and say, hey, these birds look fairly similar, but their beaks are a little bit different. I wonder why. That's an interpretation right there.
Yeah.
That's your very first interpretation is, hey, I'm noticing something and it seems to have a significance, and I'm going to look into it. That's the beginning of the scientific inquiry. And that's the same thing that you do with astrology.
Yeah.
You look at what you have in front of you. You say, this seems to correlate with this thing. I'm going to keep observing. I'm going to keep an eye out for what happens next.
Yeah. This is also why people that are into astrology are often asking in the very first few moments of a conversation what your big 3 are or your big 5, because we're all running sociological calculations.
We're running calculations all the time. Yeah, right. I mean, I talk now a lot about why it's good that women gossip, because we're exchanging information, and information gathering can be interpretive, and it also can be factual. There are both things that are happening at the same time. So like, if we say that a Mercury retrograde is coming up, then we can interpret that based on what we've experienced in the past. We can interpret that as a time when communication and technology are going to be going a little bit bananas, are going to have like a couple of farts.
Technical terms.
Technically, they might fart. I couldn't keep a straight face at all.
You might have some banana farts.
Technically, they might banana and fart on you. But, once you have that initial, like, interpretation moment happen, then you get to ride out the period during which Mercury is actually in retrograde and be the observer, like gain factual evidence of like, my computer was working fine until yesterday. And when did Mercury go retrograde? Yesterday. Yeah. Wow. Incredible. There was nothing wrong with my computer before, and now it's been on the fritz for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Exactly. Mercury in retrograde in Leo, there's been a lot of self-defensiveness and aggression. Oh, what a coincidence. Yeah. Okay, so how did we get here? How did we get from what we imagine could have been a society that was like looking at the stars all the time and understood the solstices, tracking planetary bodies to a Gregorian calendar and time and months that don't seem to make sense and disrupt the lunar cycle.
Months that are like 28 days and then 31 days
I
and then
know.
30 and then 31 and then 30 and then 30 and then 31.
Yeah.
Who did that?
Who and how? Well, it's exactly who you would guess, folks. The Catholic Church.
The Catholics.
Yeah, one of the biggest invaders, conquerors, and dickwads of all time. The Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So
you would think it would be a different root problem at this point, but it's not.
It's so boring. It's just all is like Rome. It's Rome. It's Rome again.
Rome again.
Rome again.
Conquering us again.
Yeah.
Conquering our calendars.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I know. And this was really, from what I understand from the research that I did, the Gregorian calendar came in. I'm going to get the date for you exactly so that I don't biff it. 1582. Okay.
Wow.
1582.
Not that long ago.
Not so long, but it's pretty far from here. So we've been working with it for a while. And of course, that was adapted from the Julian calendar, which came from Julius Caesar, which was not as lunar. It still was not as lunar.
Mm.
Like February had 28 days, and they were working with leap days because they had figured out that like we're 365 and a quarter. 365 days and 6 hours. So they were trying to account for it. And in order to not disrupt the way that the calendar was arranged, they said, okay, let's keep February short. I know. Cheeks fill with frustration. I have a cat.
We have a cat. Meow.
Here she is. Hey, girl. Yeah. So we ended up with a Gregorian calendar that does not sync with the moon, that the solstices happen kind of the same-ish time every year, like close to what's happening in the sky, but not always perfect. And we know they do not fall on the same day. It's not a perfect loop here. And we've ended up with the leap day. You know, that motherfucker.
The fun leap day that makes people 4 years old when they're 12 or whatever it is.
Yeah. Right. So just like to further disconnect us from looking at the sky, seeing what's going on, knowing what time of year we're at, and like what month it is according to the moon. I guess at one time you would have looked at the moon and been like, a sturgeon moon, the rabbit moon.
That means the season is about to grant us this kind of berry and this kind of herb.
Right.
That means that the waters are about to be significantly lower on a regular basis in this stream that I'm always, using. And there were a lot of signs that the stars would give us for what was going on with our own world, and that sort of mirroring that allows us to keep track of what's coming next and how to prepare. It makes so much sense too that the Gregorian calendar is so distracting and so dissociated from eclipses and solstices. Like, we don't celebrate those kinds of things at all anymore. Oh my god, her little mouth. So cute.
Okay, we have to give her space.
We're getting cat distracted. Here we go. She just came for her water.
All right, bye, baby.
Bye, friend.
Just leave it open for now.
It was so, it makes so much sense that we used to celebrate the movement of these heavenly bodies, and we used to celebrate all the things that we would see happening in the stars from here on Earth, and that we would have all those things that we're celebrating. And now with the Gregorian calendar, we no longer are, because it's easier to control people who are all looking to the same celebrations and looking to the same solutions for how to go about those rituals and enacting these rituals than it is to have like smaller communities and smaller villages who are celebrating in their own way with their own flavor of ritual and tradition that makes us all unique and makes us all more connected to each other than it does with, showing up on Valentine's Day with chocolate and flowers.
Right. All across the world that actually is not connecting us with each other, because it's just kind of a prescribed ritual, but hardly even a ritual. I don't even want to use that word for it.
It's a tradition. There is ritual to it, but part of the definition of ritual is that it's something that's treated as sacred.
Yeah.
And I don't think we can use ritual to talk about any Gregorian calendar holiday. I mean, if we could get into how New Year's and Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving are all major holidays which have been usurped by pagan religions and then also converted into like a colonizer's story for success and liberation.
Right.
We could get into all of that as a means by which colonization has stripped us of our connection to astrology as well. But we're not going to get into all of that because that's just that feels like anti-capitalism 101 to me. It's like the very first thing that you realize is like, we're putting out freaking Christmas trees in October. We don't need this, right?
Yeah.
But that's capitalism for you.
Sure is. And, I mean, it's it's so cute to look at how all of those traditions that were usurped by the church were so pagan. So if you do celebrate like the witches' Sabbats, you get to like feel into the wheel of the year and you're like, oh my God, red and white comes from Amanita muscara mushrooms being hung on trees so priests could trip. Like, amazing. Oh, Christmas. That's hilarious that they took that and made it about a baby Jesus. But, that's like, maybe we'll do this on the Sabbats.
I was gonna say that's really fun. Maybe once it is fun. Once we're not in astrology talk anymore, we can transition to just like other weird stuff,
seasonal shit you didn't know, or
right?
Maybe you did.
Getting into the history of each holiday and like the pagan correspondences, but
so fun.
Ultimately, they serve as distractions and. Again, a sort of like mutilation of our body of knowledge. It's really cutting away a really huge portion of how we have shown up as a species.
Right.
Period.
Right. What did we have before religion? Before we were divided into like Abrahamic religions and Eastern religions? We all looked at the sun and the moon and the stars and the water and the trees, and these were the gods, the thunder. Like,
we had respect for all of these elements that we saw.
Across all cultures, you're going to find like the same organization of pantheon, and in different climates you'll have like different gods more elevated than others, but we really were all just looking at what was around us, recognizing the power, the majesty, the bigness of things, and tuning into that energy. until we got whitewashed, colonized, imposed religious control. And now we're here with Gregorian calendars and light pollution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tapping back in, though. So it's good. Coming around again.
We're coming full circle. We're coming back to the place where we know that we're supposed to be, which is in connection with nature, in connection with all the things that we can see but can't explain. And it's helping us return to our reverence for Mother Nature, the literal, the earth from which we've got everything. And we can be grateful for all the things that we see and all the air that we breathe.
Right.
There was a reverence that we used to have for, there being a storm in the sky. And now it ruins our dinner plans because of somebody's half birthday that they're celebrating at some kind of Carrabba's or something.
And they straighten their hair that day.
That sounds very personal.
What? No.
Not at all.
I'm just imagining why rain would.
Oh yeah, they straighten their hair that day and they're like, it's raining and now how dare you rain on my parade? How dare you ruin my day on my half birthday parade? It just, it feels like the reverence has been lost, and we're definitely trying to find it again.
Oh yeah.
And I think astrology is a really wonderful pathway back to that reverence.
It is a portal to many things, including that. This is why astrology is not a junk science. Do you want to say anything about the 13th zodiac?
I wanted to include that because in the conversations that we've had about like what our world would look like if we went back to the lunar sidereal calendar, we've talked about how we wouldn't have 12 months. We would have 13 months, and they would all be the same length. They would all be 28 days. Is that the lunar cycle? Yeah.
Yeah, debatably.
So, we would have seasons would be much more clear in terms of like how they're divided up. We would have, everything would match up with the lunar cycle with the full moons. And it just makes more sense that way when I, think, again, with the whole, like, you can't convince me that my body is not affected by, wow! She really wanted to be in this video.
She made it.
She made it!
Well,
Miss Ma'am.
Bella's here.
She's just got a lot going on. As the screen shakes. There is nothing that you can do to convince me that like the moon affecting the tides is different from the moon and the planets affecting my body and affecting the waters of the womb. When you are being created in another human's womb, that's mostly water. And imagine that being a body of water that is being pulled on by the gravitational effects of all these. Don't. Her little scratchy donut is just hanging on the edge of it. What a baby. What a fierce, ferocious baby.
We're just going to let her be part of the podcast now as
she
we
is.
wrap up. You're welcome, everyone.
I wanted to talk about the 13th because it seemed like, if we have 13 months and we have, 13 portions of the year, that it would only make sense that we would have, what is...
A 13th zodiac.
A 13th zodiac. So I also, if anybody watches Dropout.tv, I also just trust Brendan Lee Mulligan to just know things. And he threw this out there in the middle of a campaign, in the middle of a D20 campaign, and was like, Ophiuchus. There we go. Was like, Ophiuchus, look it up and told somebody to look it up. And I was like, I'm already on it, Brennan. So there to me is a lore pertaining to Ophiuchus, which is a serpent-related astrological sign. And if you want to look into it, then you totally can. I don't know enough about it to speak firmly on it.
Mm-hmm.
What I do know is that it represents this other idea that if you look at the Gregorian calendar versus a lunar calendar, one of them makes no sense at all. 31, 30, 28 days, sometimes 29 days. Okay. The other makes complete and total sense, follows the phases of the moon. It is by evidence that we can see them happening. They're not, gonna just happen on a whim.
Right.
Or we don't need to like stuff in extra days because something else was miscalculated and is a relic, truly an ancient relic at this point of one probably white man's, probably European man's idea of what a good calendar is.
Put money on that.
There's no part of me that doesn't think the same as the moon and the tides, that doesn't think that a lunar calendar would really grant us so much access to the information that we've lost. Because once we start operating by the moon and we start operating back into our own reverential state and our own, sacred touch with nature and with the unknown and the mysteries of the world without needing to solve all of them, then we can get back into like this surrendered state of being, which is like, I don't have to know everything all the time. I don't need to know everything. And when I look up at the stars, I can learn a thing or two and I can be on the lookout for a few things, but I don't have to be anxious. I don't have to live in the future about it. I don't have to start saving up in September for Christmas presents that I'm going to give in December. I don't have to operate by all of these other weird traditions that were made up by probably some European men at some point and then disseminated amongst the masses because they have the money and the power to do so.
Yeah, and then globalized for like ease and homogeny.
Out of force. We've forced other cultures to speak English. We forced other cultures to use our calendar. We forced other cultures to use our metric system, which is really, really bad. I mean, literally the Gregorian calendar and our metric system, if we compare that to the lunar calendar and the metric system that the rest of the world uses.
Oh, you mean like our imperial system of inches and miles?
Yes.
Shenaniganry.
Inches versus meters. If we look about, if we literally, the imperial system and the Gregorian system are embarrassments when compared to things that actually make sense.
I know. Oh my God. Like a bushel and a peck as measurements. You got to be kidding me. We can go further than that. I know. Hilarious and real and terrifying.
So we have toyed with the idea of getting back to a sidereal calendar that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we are stuck in our ways. And the only way that we're going to see any kind of systemic change that would reinforce that astrology and astronomy are really important sciences that we cannot let go of and that we cannot see just fall apart because we can't even see the fucking stars anymore. We would need to make changes on a very high level. I mean, government systems are the ones who decide whether or not daylight savings time is something that we're going to keep doing.
That's also nuts.
Also a relic of a time.
Yeah.
That we're no longer a part of.
And like PSA, there are other countries that do this. Like India has astrologers employed by their government, which is like, it sounds so wild and rad to me. But imagine if our leaders here in the US were looking at the astrology and they were like, oh, all the world wars happen with this Gemini conjunction. Let's not do that.
Right. Whenever we've had an age of Aquarius,
Yeah.
there has been a lot of rebellion and so many crazy things going on. Like, all of our communities need astrologers.
Yeah. And there are easy ways that you can start working this into your life now. Like, if you are a phone user, a smartphone user, you can put on your little display thingy the moon phase. So I see this every single time I poke at my
You have a
screen.
widget?
Yeah, I have a little widget that says the moon's at 30%. And it's a crescent right now. And like, I know that because I have a calendar that I create every zodiac season. So for Leo season, for Virgo season, that tells you what's going on with the moon, what zodiac sign it's in, what its phase is, and what we can be looking for. And these are just like simple ways. Also tracking your period. I like to use Stardust. It's the only period app that doesn't sell your data to other people, which is cool because that's personal.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. And it looks at the moon phases with you. So I can really like get down with that and have this personal calendar system happening for myself. And then we have a collective calendar system happening with the moon. And then when we go to schedule things, we can, go to default Gregorian. But imagine if like our podcasts were scheduled like, okay, let's meet at the next waxing crescent in Aquarius. Like, and I knew what day that was in my head. Imagine how cool that would be.
That would be very cool.
I would feel super in touch.
That would be really crazy.
I know.
I'm just trying to imagine my brain being able to hold that information, because even like as an ADHD autistic person now, I'm already like, days of the week don't make sense.
Right.
I don't really get it. We don't need it. I don't really feel like we need it. But to be able to have like the moon is going to be in this sign for 2 or 3 days or whatever, like where are we now collectively?
Yeah.
This is where we are.
I can just see how fun that would be, scheduling with like a muggle job and them saying, I'll need you to come in next Tuesday. And you're like,
the moon is going to be void. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's this Tuesday you speak of?
Who's this Tuesday? I've never met her.
You mean the new moon? Ah. Hello. Watermelon cat.
You want to take some notes, Bella? Catermelon.
That's all I got on this. How about you?
Yeah, I feel pretty complete. We talked about the moon affecting the tides, affecting our wombs. There we go.
Affecting our cameras.
Affecting the womb.
I know, guys. Having a geriatric cat in double cones is part of my life now.
Is crazy. Yeah, I think we talked about all of it. What's been keeping us from astrology, what makes the most sense about astrology, and attuning our society to astrology. Yeah, I think we've nailed it.
Cool. Nailed it. Boom. So what you got going on in your world, in your community?
I'm most excited right now about restarting Free Reading Friday. Yes. I just did a card reading. I haven't been doing card readings for clients for a while. My books have been closed. But I did take my mom's childhood best friend as a client last week. I've read for her before. She wanted relationship readings about all of her kids. And this time she just wanted like a reading for herself. Her husband had just passed like a few months ago, and we like saw him in the reading, and everything in there just hit so hard for her in the most like gentle, beautiful way, in the most like clarifying way.
Cool.
And she was like, this is confirmation of everything. Like, you touched on everything. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I like to hear that. And it just came on the heels of having made the decision to do Free Reading Friday again, where I get to just show up. People come first served, ask for guidance from the universe or whatever specific questions you have, and get to like get a reading for free, get a card reading, a tarot and oracle card reading for absolutely free.
Nice.
Once a week. I mean, that book is open.
Yeah.
That book is opening, and I'm excited to be opening my books after that. But I really want to get into Free Reading Friday again and just connecting with people again and providing this feeling that you get of like the confidence you get when you have confirmation and clarity. I like want to sit with that, and I want to soak back into that. So Free Reading Friday takes place 9:30 p.m. on Fridays on my YouTube channel.
Cool. Locked.
Yeah.
And her readings slap, by the way. Like, I remember things that you've told me in readings from years ago on the floor of like 5 or 6 apartments ago.
Yeah, I have a friend who, like, whenever I connect with them, they're like, oh yeah, it's like that thing you told me in the reading. And I was like, from
What?
like 3 years ago?
What did I
3
channel?
years ago? What did I say?
Yeah, exactly. No recollection.
It just comes through me.
That's how you know. Also, just saying. Cool. I love that. 9:30 on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, chickadee, Eastern Standard.
Yeah. Yeah,
Love it.
I wanted to make it a time where Pacific people, if you're a 9 to 5er, it starts at 5:30 for you on Pacific time, so you could just get off of work right on the dot, get home,
commute with me,
commute with me, yeah. Turn on that YouTube and go, let me listen to what readings Kellyanne is doing before I decide on my question.
I love that. Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
Et toi? Et toi? Et moi? Je pense que I'm feeling excited about doing some shifting in my community right now. So I recently got some clarity.
Oop.
Did it hurt? Just a little.
Oop.
It was really good. Ooh. It was really, really good. And I highly recommend for anyone that's interested in learning more about how to embody yourself before being like, I'm going to start a spiritual business. This is super helpful. Building block steps within the MetaBoss Collective, and I can get you linked in on that. But I went through these kits, and I've been sitting with how some of the structures that I've been using in my community are not working. And it's okay. And I'm shifting towards more fun. I'm shifting towards more fun for all of us. And it's going to include things like dressing up. I know. And showboating and being really fabulous and playing. We're going to keep embodiment circles and the way that we use that as like an improvisational play space to try on new skills and try on new ways of being. And I'm just going to like turn up the frivolity and the playfulness. Goodness. Yeah, right? I know. Thank you. And move away from some of this stuff that is really like professional paradigm.
Teachy.
Yeah. Right. Also, I'm not a teacher. I'm a great teacher, and I've been teaching for many years. And it's actually not my soul aligned thing. So for me, it's like a little dry.
And if you kind of compare, there's some research study that was done on like the 10,000 hours rule.
And play.
Okay, so if you want to get good at anything, I don't know if you've heard about this before, if you want to get really good at something, it is said that you need to put in 10,000 hours into practicing it to get to expertise. With play, if you were doing it fun every time, for every minute you spend in fun time with that thing, with that practice, it shrinks down to 400 hours.
Yeah. That's insane. I've heard 14 times, and I think that math works out. Yeah, right. And I've seen this in practice too with like dog training and working with animals, right? If they're like afraid of the water, as soon as I'm playing with them and then I throw the stick near the water, guess what? Like we're less afraid of the water now because we're playing. You're in a state of play.
State of play drops the walls. Yeah. It drops our resistance to things.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. And for me, it feels like the final stage of like healing when you're able to just be like, oh my God, I'm just playing and getting silly.
I don't have to work so hard anymore. The shadow work isn't so worky. It's a little more just fluid.
Exactly.
And contextual. Like I get to just not see everything through the lens of what I'm working on all the time and what I'm healing through all the time.
Yeah.
I get to just be like, oh, I wonder what's behind this door. Whee!
Yeah. So more play. That's what's coming in for me. And I love it.
More play.
Blessings.
Guided by astrology. Guided by the stars.
Star play.
Star play.
Star Wars. Lightsabers. Let's go.
Okay.
We're going to go play lightsabers on the beach.
I'm ready. Oh, the double. Okay. Wow.
I do have a double lightsaber.
I've heard they're really tough to use.
Yeah, I'm a little short for it.
I was going to say, you have to have like a good wingspan. You have to have a good...
I kind of got to do it on like a little diagonal plane so I'm not scraping the ground. But, you know, it's fine. Maybe I'll share that with the world one day. Who knows?
That'd be fun.
If I find the charger. This concludes our live episode, live and in person. Thank you for being here, everyone. You know where to find us. It's in the show notes. And we love you.
And we love you so much.
We love you.
And we hope you know that you're deserving of all the love you desire.
Yeah, go look at the moon and stuff.
Go look at the moon. Be reverent or whatever. Replenish your red. I was like, what were we saying at the
She said red in, red out.
Red in, red out. What is it? What was it just saying? Reverence in, reverence out. Here you go.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. We love you.
Love you.